This is continuing coverage of United States versus Sean Diddy Combs from the Hidden Killers podcast and True Crime Today.
All right, get ready because we're going to be breaking down what is now going to be some of the final days in the federal trial against Sean Diddy Combs, the trial that could put him away for the rest of his life, 15 years at a minimum. And, you know, when you're getting up there, as Diddy is, 15 years, that's a good chunk of what's left. We're driving straight into what happened in that courtroom. We're taking a look at what happened at the end of last week and today, the 23rd. So let's go back to June 20th, 2025. We're deep into the federal trial against Diddy, who, let me remind you, faces charges so severe they're the judicial equivalent of the Billboard Hot 100. We're talking racketeering, sex trafficking, obstruction, witness tampering, basically a best of compilation nobody wants. The prosecution, knowing they're nearing the big finale, rolls out Brendan Paul, Diddy's former assistant turned star witness. And folks, Brendan didn't just spill the tea, he overturned the whole damn kettle. Brendan strolled into court, immunity in hand, ready to air all the dirty laundry, and I mean all. This wasn't your run-of-the-mill gossip. Brendan detailed allegedly how he was tasked with picking up ketamine and cocaine like they were artisanal pastries from Whole Foods. Apparently, Diddy's parties were less of a white attire and a yacht and more of a white powder in a penthouse. These so-called freak-off parties weren't exactly subtle. Brendan, tasked with prepping these events, found himself shopping lists that looked like the unholy child of a frat party and a late-night convenience store run. Baby oil, Astroglide, coconut water, vegetable soup, and IV setups. Because apparently nothing says romantic evening like vegetable soup and a medical hydration. Now, we pause for a second and consider Brendan Paul himself, okay? This guy has been in the trenches. He's been right there with Diddy all of this time. This guy's been the right-hand man, at least for a little while. But here's my favorite part. Brendan once got fired for forgetting a Lululemon fanny pack. Seriously, imagine working for one of hip-hop's biggest moguls, handling illicit substances, orchestrating hotel room escapades, and what gets you canned? Misplacing the $50 belt bag. Priorities, am I right? So Brendan, under immunity, lays it all out. The drug use, the explicit parties, even the arrest in a hotel room with Diddy's cocaine. But don't worry, Brendan didn't face charges. Instead, he did what any logical person would do after such a near miss, attended drug education classes, pass a few drug tests, and jump right back into work like nothing happened, as one does. Fast forward to June 23rd, and things shift gears into explicit territory. The prosecution, clearly feeling the momentum, brings in Homeland Security Specialist Agent Joseph Cerciello. Now, you'd think Homeland Security agents spending their time chasing international terrorists at high-level cybersecurity threats, right? Apparently not. Cerciello spent a chunk of his career piecing together text messages and logistics for celebrity sex parties. He presented explicit text messages from Diddy to staff and escorts, requests that ranged from mundane coconut water again to bizarrely specific Astroglide in bulk quantities. If Amazon Prime isn't delivering these items by drone, they're missing out on a serious market segment. The jury, who up to this point was probably wondering when they'd hear "I'll Be Missing You" played ironically, got handed private screens and headphones. They watched 20 minutes of explicit, allegedly drug-fueled videos. A courtroom turned into some dark art house theater, just like that. Jurors silently processing scenes that probably made Eyes Wide Shut look like a Pixar movie. The absurdity of jurors quietly absorbing hardcore evidence via headphones is exactly the surreal vibe we've come to expect in this case. Now, here's where things get even stranger. Diddy's defense, led by attorney Mark Agnifilo, announced they're not calling a single witness. Zero. Nada. Zip. I'll be missing you. Not even Diddy himself. And the biggest twist since Empire Strikes Back, the defense decides their best strategy is no strategy. They're betting that the prosecution hasn't convinced the jury beyond a reasonable doubt. It's bold, it's risky, and frankly, it reeks of either extreme confidence or sheer desperation. Like playing poker and throwing your cards in the air, hoping they land perfectly arranged. Good luck with that. Legal experts, because they're always experts, chimed in immediately. The consensus? Diddy taking the stand would be catastrophic. Imagine the cross-examination, a prosecutor gleefully picking apart every text, every explicit video detail. Diddy forced to explain the intricacies of Astroglide quantities and vegetable soup orders under oath. Honestly, no PR spin could really fix that. Agnifilo's tactic might just be genius in a weird throw-spaghetti-at-the-wall way. And given how messy the evidence already is, maybe there's method to this madness. So where does this leave us? On the brink, my friends, teetering towards closing arguments, jury deliberations, and the final judgment of a cultural icon who's swiftly become infamous for all the wrong reasons. Remember, this is Diddy we're talking about. Mr. Ciroc, Mr. Bad Boy Records, Mr. Take That himself. The guy who once symbolized hip-hop glamour and now facing a sordid reality check. His reputation, carefully constructed over decades, now unraveled faster than a badly knit sweater. And why does this all matter? Because it peels back the shiny, curated layers of celebrity culture, exposing the gritty, sometimes grotesque underbelly hidden from view. It's not just about drugs and sex parties. It's about power and control, allegedly using wealth to orchestrate events and people, treating human lives like props in a grotesque play staged solely for personal amusement. This isn't just bad behavior. It's a kind of hubris that Shakespeare wrote about, minus the Astroglide, of course. As the prosecution rests and the defense prepares their Hail Mary of closing arguments, we're left with this uncomfortable truth. Fame and money, no matter how vast, might buy silence for a while, but eventually accountability finds a way. No amount of charisma or brand power shields anyone completely from justice. Diddy's trial, lurid details and all, serves as a stark reminder of that fact. So, get ready, because the jury's verdict is looming. Will Diddy walk free, or will the evidence stack too high to ignore? Time will tell. But one thing is certain, the case has forever tarnished the carefully polished image of a man who once ruled the entertainment world. And perhaps more importantly, it's a stark warning to anyone who thinks power grants immunity from consequence. Tell me what you think in the comments section of this video on YouTube, if that's where you're watching us. If you're listening to this on the podcast platform, please check out our YouTube channel. Just search Hidden Killers with Tony Bruschi to get in on all of that. And yeah, let us know your opinion as the trial of Diddy gets ready to wrap up. It's going to be fascinating. I don't know that he has a chance in hell of being acquitted, but stranger things have indeed happened. Tell me what you think in the comments. Until next time, I'm Tony Bruschi. We'll talk again real soon.
Craving non-stop true crime updates? Press subscribe now and get the latest cases, analysis, and expert commentary delivered straight to your feed. Only from the Hidden Killers podcast and True Crime Today.